Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to the video, and today we're going to be doing another severe weather breakdown. Now we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I mean a lot. Tomorrow there is going to be a huge potential for a tornado outbreak. We're going to see some massive temperature swings. There's also going to be a huge snowstorm over the next 24 hours, and we're going to be breaking it all down today. Starting off with the SPC outlook for today, where we have a marginal risk of severe weather across portions of central and northeastern Oklahoma, extending from Norman back up to Tulsa. Tornado threat for today, no tornadoes expected. Damaging wind threat, we do not have a damaging wind threat either. But this storm is going to be a hail maker, okay? If you're in the brown shaded area today, then you have a 5% chance to see hail of 1 inch or larger anywhere in that region, okay? So look out for that. Moving on to tomorrow, this is whenever we are expecting our potential isolated tornado outbreak, but widespread tornadoes likely, okay? So we have an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow, which we have not had in so long. In fact, I believe it's been about September 24th was the last one, I want to say, which was getting close to 2 months ago, okay? So this is going to be, this kind of tornado outbreak is something you only see so many times a year, you know, okay? So Alexandria back up to Jackson tomorrow. That's where we're looking at for the main threats and the enhanced risk. Tornado threat for tomorrow. This is why we have that enhanced risk of severe weather. We have a 10% tornado risk here. Now, you may be thinking, well, 10% chance of a tornado tomorrow, that's not that bad. That's not what that means, okay? That means there's a 10% chance to see a tornado anywhere in that circle at any specific points. There's a 10% chance in Jackson. There's also a 10% chance of Alexandria. Once you add all those 10% chances all together, it becomes much higher than just a 10% chance to see a single tornado tomorrow. I'd also like to point out we have a hatched risk of tornadoes tomorrow in the black lines area there. That is indicating our area where we could see strong damaging tornadoes from EF2 to EF5, okay? So tomorrow we at least have a 10% risk of strong tornadoes anywhere in that circle. Again, just because there's a 10% risk in that circle doesn't mean there's only a 10% chance we see that. That means there's a 10% chance to see that anywhere in the circle. So if you're in there, like tomorrow, there's going to be a 10% chance that a tornado comes down rolling through your street. So you've got to be careful, okay? This is going to be a pretty big tornado outbreak, likely. Damaging wind threat, we do have a 30% risk for damaging winds as well. Mainly up to 70 miles per hour will be possible tomorrow. Once again, just because there's a 30% risk does not mean that overall the risk is only 30%. We are definitely going to see several gusts approaching the 70 mile per hour corridor, and this is actually just for 60 miles an hour. So if you're anywhere in that red shaded region tomorrow, you have a 30% chance yourself to see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher in Jackson. So look out for that. Hail threat for tomorrow. These storms aren't going to be quite as much as hail makers as the other threats, but there's still a 15% risk for hail of 1 inch or larger tomorrow for Lufkin, Alexandria, and Shreveport, so look out for that as well. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a pretty big deal. I will be going live for it at about 3:30 p.m. Central Time, maybe closer to 4 p.m. Central Time, so keep an eye out on that. Tuesday here, we have another marginal risk of severe weather. It doesn't stop. We are really getting into that severe weather fall season that a lot of people forget exists, but it does, and it is very powerful. National Hurricane Center, we have disturbances, a 10% chance to form in the next 7 days and a 10% chance to form in the next 48 hours here, just off the coast of South America. I don't think this is going to be a big deal. I don't think it's going to form, and even if it does, it's going to head for Central America. So not a big deal at all for the United States. Eastern Pacific, this has a 30% chance to form the next 7 days and a 30% chance to form the next 48 hours. Once again, I don't think it's a big deal at all. Probably just going to be a fish storm. Central Pacific, nothing at all. Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. This is for November 25th to the 29th. If you're in the darkest shade of blue there, that extends over much of the deep south, the Midwest, heading into the mountains, that's going to be a 70 to 80% chance to see below average temperatures tomorrow, okay? Sorry, not tomorrow, from the 25th to the 29th. So definitely look out for that. A huge cool down is about to come. We are going to have an area down in southern Florida that's going to have a 50 to 60% chance to see above average temperatures, so look out for that. It's going to be warmer in Florida, but across like the entirety of the United States, it's going to be much cooler than normal, okay? 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook is even more extreme, as we have an area in the northwestern United States that has a 60 to 70% chance to see below average precipitation in the darkest shade of brown, extending over portions of Idaho, West Montana, Washington, and Oregon. Okay, so very likely that we're going to see drought conditions start to form in that area. We do have 2 areas down in the southern United States that is going to have a 50 to 60% chance to see above average precipitation. One of them extending over much of the extreme southern United States as well as Florida, and then one of them including portions of New Mexico, West Texas, and southeast Arizona. So look out for that. 8 to 14 day outlooks, 8 to 14 day temperature outlook here. Okay, the darkest shade of blue, that's going to be a 50 to 60% chance to see a below average temperature still. So that cold front is still going to be across most of the United States from November 27th to December 3rd, so look out for that still. And then down in South Florida, we're still going to have an area that's going to have a 50 to 60% chance to see above average temperatures in the darkest shade of orange, so look out for that as well. 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, we're going to have an area in the northwestern United States that's still going to continue to have a 50 to 60% chance to see below average precipitation in the darkest shade of brown, so drought conditions still possible from late November to early December. And then we're going to have an area still down in the deep south as well. It's going to have a 50 to 60% chance to see above average precipitation as we enter that fall severe weather season. Watches, warnings, and advisories currently: purple's winter weather advisories, pink winter storm warnings. Okay, that's going to indicate your areas that could see some very heavy snowfall, but we're going to break that down in a minute. Dark browns are going to be your high wind watches here in portions of Colorado, so look out for that. And then we have high wind warnings actually in effect in Los Angeles and areas surrounding it in California, so look out for that. Special weather statements in effect across portions of the, the mid-Atlantic area. So definitely look out for that in the tannish colors. Fire conditions are definitely possible in that area today, so look out for that. Finally, snowfall totals, okay? Now, we're not going to be doing a full snowfall breakdown. I just want to talk about the major winter storm that's going to be coming through, okay? So, Utah here, okay? You're going to get most of the snow here from this storm, all right? The entire state is at least going to be in for a dusting over the next 24 hours, which is when this radar loop is for, keep in mind. And then once you get into, like, the Cedar City area, you could definitely see several inches of snow, possibly. Unfortunately, we can't really get a good reading down in that area. But just keep that in mind. And then once you get into, like, central Utah, it gets quite a bit heavier, okay? So definitely anywhere from 3 to 4, maybe even 5 or 6 inches of snow possible. Again, I wish I could get a good reading, but I cannot, unfortunately, so that kind of stinks. But then you get into the Salt Lake City suburbs here, and that's where it gets insane. This dark blue color here, I know it says 2 inches. That's not accurate. I've been trying to get a good reading out of this all day, but I can't. This area here, though, in the Salt Lake City metro and the suburbs, that's going to be a lot of snow over the next 24 hours. Just trust me. And then same thing for northeastern Utah as well. Upwards of a foot of snow possible in the next 24 hours. If you look at the bottom of your screen, unless I have it cropped out, but if you look at the bottom of your screen, you should be able to see the different colors of blue, the different shades, and kind of see how much snow that will total out to usually. We're getting into the territory of like 1 foot snow just in terms of the shades of blue, but unfortunately we can't get good readings like that for some reason. But yeah, Utah, lots of snow coming, especially in the mountains in Salt Lake City, so look out for that. And then the rest of the snowstorm will impact places like southeast Idaho. This is the only other state that could see major impacts from it. Once you get into the mountains in southeast Idaho, once again, several inches of snow across the entire thing. Again, I can't get a good reading for to save my life, unfortunately. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Lots of snow over the next 24 hours. That's going to be it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Again, I will be going live tomorrow for this severe weather event, so come tune in. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Peace.